You're listening to Scheduling Sin with me, Snowmill. When you're in that mode, like the last thing you're thinking of is getting railed by three guys.
I still love him, but not as much today.
But a seam is not going to hold up these tits. BRB.
College dorm room.
Getting my ass eaten in room 305. All right, well, let's get started, Mr. Snow.
Well, hello there, Mrs. Snow.
How are you?
I'm disappointed.
Yeah, we have a lot to kind of talk about today, don't we?
We do.
So I think we've had several conversations. We've kind of alluded to just this whole, the title of our show is Scheduling Sin, right? And so there's a lot of conversations and discussions related to balance. We're two working professionals. We have two small children. We have families. We have other obligations in life. And we also happen to like to have a lot of fun, in our secret little naughty hobby, as we call it. This weekend, we had attempted to go to this amazing hotel takeover, which we'll go into a lot more detail about. But we unfortunately had to have, we had to take a rain check because we had a little kiddo that was sick. We've had a lot of conversations about balancing and about, having the reality of having to be a parent, but also be an individual that likes to engage in all kinds of fun, naughty things. So yeah, that's why Mr. Snow is a little disappointed today.
Yeah, today is a difficult day. Yeah, it's, we were supposed to leave this morning to go down to Blue Ash, Ohio.
Yeah.
To do a hotel takeover, 80s themed hotel takeover.
Would have been awesome.
At an Embassy Suites hosted by the Champagne Club, who, going back in their history, we got to know them when they were a club in Fort Wayne, Indiana. And then they moved to Columbus. We never made it to the Columbus Club.
What's a little ways away?
It was a little ways away, and we just didn't get down there. And we were kind of taking a break from the lifestyle a little bit at that time. And then we were making plans to go to the club in September. We even mentioned that on the show.
Yeah.
That we were planning to go to the club, and we were, but unfortunately the club owners have a new tenant in that space, and we don't know yet. They haven't announced what's going to be taking over that space. We're really hopeful that it's another lifestyle club, but we just don't know yet. So in lieu of going to the club in September, they are hosting a hotel takeover and here the end of August. And we were really excited. We were going to try to go into that. And we were all set.
All set, meaning we've had a lot of conversations, like you and I, obviously, about just what this is going to look like and what we want to do and what we don't want to do. But also, I actually opened up the drawer that is my lingerie drawer. And I got to do a little fashion show for Mr. Snow, and he got to see all of the wonderful pieces that I've acquired over the years.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
You've gotten a lot of
stuff.
And I've gotten better at it. The early stuff is a little sketch.
That's a good word.
It's, you notice it's almost all crotchless.
Yes, you have evolved from crotchless things to actually covering me up. That's amazing.
Well, okay, so here's a little detour into women's lingerie. The thing about it is, it took me a while to figure this out.
What's the thing, maybe, please? Because I have a thought about this as well.
Good. The thing is, you have to match the lingerie well to the person, and this is not really unlike any other clothing, but I think a lot of men, and I fell into this category too, think of things like thongs, think of things like skimpy little bras and stuff like that. And they think, oh, that'd be great. And they get their wife this lingerie that is just super skimpy and one thing and another. Well, we are both curvy people, and my wife has huge tits. And early going,
seam is not gonna hold my tits. Right?
Yeah, like
not gonna do it.
we would get these packages, and They're really
And let's be real, the pictures that they like advertise with are these airbrush women who I'm sure do not have real tits that stand up on their own and that are just not real. And let me tell you something, mine are very real and they are not perky. They're quite saggy and it's what it is.
they're not saggy. That's
Okay,
not the
but
right
a seam
term.
is not going to hold up these tits.
No.
Like I need like rebar.
But that's but that's the thing. So like in the early going, I got stupid lingerie. I did.
Yeah,
I remember her pulling stuff out and she'd put on this bra or whatever, and she's like, "This is fucking ridiculous."
This isn't holding anything.
Like if I walk to the bathroom, it might knock me out. Like there's nothing being held down here at all. So okay, fine. Fast forward to now though.
You've gotten a lot better.
I've gotten a lot better.
A lot better.
And I'm much more conscious of lingerie that fits your shape well.
Right.
And
it's actually fairly comfortable.
Is better made.
Yeah.
And so the point, right. the little point in this whole thing is it's worth taking the extra, like some extra cost and some extra time to make sure you get the right stuff.
Right.
Because, and the other thing too, is I will say that, and it's like, duh, right? But if you match the lingerie well to the person, they look amazing in it.
Well, I'm more likely to wear it, right? But also like I am more likely to feel comfortable in it and to like it and to then like how you look at me in it. I mean, like it's kind of a two-way street, right? Like if I feel good or it fits me well or it fits me at all, I'm less likely to be like, oh my God, this looks terrible. My tits are hanging out or whatever. Like,
right.
Yeah.
And even the ones where your tits are hanging out, if they're comfortable, then that's
right. But again, a seam is not the same as an underwire.
No. So we got to do a little fashion show.
It was fun.
That was fun. And for this hotel takeover, we were going to be there for one night because we have two kids. We have two kids. They're both small. And that's kind of where we're going for this episode. So childcare for us, especially overnight childcare, it's kind of a big deal.
Sure.
That's not the kind of thing that we can just like, you know, I mean, we can't just stash the kids somewhere.
Our kids are crazy.
No, they're nuts. They're little boys and they're rambunctious and they're loud and nobody will keep them overnight twice.
Sometimes I don't want to keep them overnight twice. Yeah. I mean, they're just boys. But.
We had, so overnight childcare was taken care of. Mm-hmm. This is a 3-day event.
Yeah. And we were only going for one. But I tell you what, when he showed me like the schedule, I was like, damn, I would love to go for a whole like 3 days. I don't know if I have like the stamina for that.
These folks do it up right. I mean, it is an incredible party. And in fact, they even added, I'm pretty sure they added the Thursday stuff.
Because they had so many.
Just because they had so many people coming.
Yeah.
We were told at one point there were almost 1,500 people.
Yeah. I don't know if everybody stays. I mean, I don't know if everyone stays all 3 days.
I think a lot of people stay at least 2.
Yeah.
The host hotel has a 2-night minimum.
Okay.
On the rooms.
Okay.
And I think most people that I talk to, well, let's put it this way. Most people that I talked to and I told them we're only there Friday night, most of them asked why only one night.
Right. Well,
and the answer to that is because
we have lives.
We're Ma and Pa Kettle.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're like that. And I don't, you know, as 2 nights, 3 nights, I don't know, I would need like a week to recover from 3 nights.
I mean, when you look at all of the events, I mean, obviously, and I'm sure just like most any like conference convention type thing where there are multiple activities or events, like I don't think everybody participates in everything.
No, well, there's so much to do. I'm going to read you part of this list. I'm not going to read you the whole list of things that's going on at this takeover, but it's at the Embassy Suites in Blue Ash, Ohio. It's a whole hotel.
Yeah, they have the whole hotel.
That's one thing. Like little pause on this whole hotel thing. There are some hotel takeovers that are not complete hotel takeovers.
Right.
That's a no for me.
They're like a floor or something.
Yeah.
Or like a block of rooms.
Or like we're all going to be in the dance hall area.
Right.
Otherwise, it's like going to be normies out there.
Normies?
You know, muggles.
Muggles, right. Yeah, people who don't want to see your dick.
Yeah, no. And kids and stuff. And
yeah, no, I get it.
I don't want anything to do with that.
You don't want to bang with a kid. Like, I get it.
No,
like,
no. But they've got like a live DJ. Actually, they've got a few live DJs. They have 3 of them listed here. 24-hour access to the indoor pool. a top floor after party with open suites as playrooms,
Right.
a comedy hypnotist for the dinner show on Saturday night. That's fucking amazing. Champagne booty shakers, hands-on flogger. This is
what he's really, I think.
yeah. This is the thing. I was excited for this. Hands-on flogger class in brand new Impact Ballroom.
So basically, yeah, I mean, and you mentioned that in one of the last episodes, like you really wanted to try it, but you weren't able, like you don't know how to do it. So
I don't have any experience doing it.
Right.
But to do it as a class could be really kind of fun.
Yeah.
And so that's going on. Brand new play escape group room. I don't know what that is, but I want to do that. They had a vendor showcase. So they've got like vendors there with God only knows what, but I want to see that. Well, there was a
sex toy swap, right? Is that right?
Well, they called it a swap meet, but that's nobody's bringing their used sex toys.
Well,
we're not swapping.
I don't even know what to say to that. Oh my God.
We're swapping spouses. We're not swapping dildos.
That should be a theme somewhere.
I don't know.
We're swapping spouses, not toys.
Maybe. I mean, I guess you can swap toys. I don't know. There's cleaner for that. So.
Yeah, but I don't really want to go see it. But yeah, I mean, I assume that was more of like an exhibit hall type thing.
Oh, yeah. 100%. No, 100%.
Yeah.
Complimentary drinks from the bar nightly. Chicago style hot dog lunch cart. I mean,
get your wieners.
That's worth going by itself. Mimosa and Bloody Mary bar, complimentary Wi-Fi, all lifestyle, all inclusive. And the 80s theme was they have awards for biggest hair, the Aquanet Award, the best 80s rocker, the broken guitar. Just a phenomenal party. Trivia Pursuit team, atrium style, just to name a few. Just so many things going on. I mean, this feels a lot like, and I said this earlier, this feels a whole lot like what we wanted the Chicago event to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas the Chicago event, and we talked about it in a previous episode, it was kind of more porn trade show.
Right. There were more content creators there.
Yeah. This is a lot
this
more.
Is more of
this
a
is
lifestyle
completely
event.
Lifestyle and swinger events.
Correct. Yeah.
I think this is exactly what we wanted Chicago to be.
Right.
And now we'll never know because we didn't get to go. Because
he's so upset about this.
I'm so low key mad at my 3-year-old. So I don't care. Whatever. I'm going to say it. Doesn't matter. I still love him, but not as much today as usual.
Today. Well, let's be real. Like all parents don't love their kids at some point in the day. And
I'll tell you, that kid is cute. I mean, he can get out of a lot of stuff just by being cute, but still he got this bug from daycare.
Yeah.
But
healthy. I took him to the doctor. He had not been to the doctor since April.
Yeah.
Which is like 5 months.
He's completely fine.
Unfucking heard of.
Completely fine.
And of course, the weekend we want to go, it's like, well, I'm going to get sick.
Right. And where is he right now?
Yeah.
Today is the day of the event. Where is he at this moment?
Yeah. He went back to daycare.
Yeah. That's what he did. After we canceled completely everything, he was back in action at daycare today.
Yeah. So in talking about balancing, I mean, let's be real. Kids are cock blocks.
Total cock blocks.
They are total cock blockers. And I mean, don't get me wrong, love my children, but I think it really speaks to, when we first engaged in this lifestyle and we were learning more about it, one of the things that I really struggled with, and I would be lying if I still struggle with it to some degree, but this headspace, going from being a parent and being in mom mode, where I'm like worrying about like, what am I going to make them for dinner and making their lunches and laundry and all of the things, and being mom, which, let's be real, being a mom is not sexy. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like, okay, fine, MILFs, right? Whatever. But you know what I mean? Like when, and women can, please, moms can really help, like, validate me here. But like when you're in that mode, like the last thing you're thinking of is getting railed by 3 guys. I know that hurts your heart when I say that out loud. Like, I know you're not happy about it, but I mean, so that headspace, and that was one of the points of friction when we kind of first got into this. It was like, I was in mom mode and you would come at me because you had been like traveling or at work or whatever, and you had more time to just kind of think about these things or research these things or look these things up or whatever. And I'm home playing mom, and you come home and you're like, we should do this amazing thing. And I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Your children have been on me all day.
Right.
And I'm exhausted. Right. So this balance piece is it's a huge piece of it, but it can be a huge challenge to really navigate it. Not knowing where your partner is when you come at them with these conversations. And so a lot of it is knowing your partner and being able to set aside the time to have these types of conversations.
Right. Well, that's huge.
Because these are not like these
it's
in
not
passing.
casual.
Yeah, it's not like in passing, like I would say, oh, go get milk at the grocery store. Like, oh, I want to go like have a threesome next week. Like, it's not the same.
Like, hey, do you know there's a new ice cream shop opening up? It's
right.
a little more involved in that.
A little bit.
And the yeah, no, that's totally true. And actually that goes both ways, right? So I travel for work, and she is here, of course, when I'm traveling. And so that's true. So while I'm gone, I'm working, but I also am, just by virtue of the fact that I'm away,
right.
I'm unencumbered by the drama of the house. I'm unencumbered by kids. Because I'm away, those of you that travel for work will understand this. You become sort of simply focused in that you have work to do. Right. And then you have off time. And that's really the only two pulls, right? You're not being also pulled by kids, and you're not also being pulled by soccer practice. Right. And also pulled by the PTO, and also pulled by, all these other things. Yeah. You have this opportunity to let your mind kind of drift into stuff like this, right?
Yeah, to do whatever you want to do. Sure.
Yeah. So I would come home from a trip and I'd be like, hey, let's talk about this great double-sided dildo I found. And it took me a while to learn that there is a time and place for double-sided dildo conversations.
Yeah, definitely a place. Read the room.
Yeah. And
Does I look like I want a double? Maybe I really needed one at the time, but I don't look like I want one.
Right. So okay. So in the early going of this, I would come home and I'd be like all ball up excited. I can't wait to talk to you about this. And you would look at me like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, go away. Yeah. And so the thing about that is, okay, that's bad for both of us.
Well, absolutely.
It's bad for you because clearly you're annoyed that I just came at you in this moment with this off the wall, like, let's talk about this. Well, like
here you are worrying about sex and being all horny, and here I am trying to figure out like what to feed the kids for dinner.
Right. And I'm not like completely this bad, like as we're saying.
No, he's not. No, I don't mean to make it sound like that.
But
it really kind of hurts you.
I am pretty horny. But at the same time, though, it's bad for me because here I am. I am having this thing that I'm excited and I want to talk about. And I'm getting completely shot down. Right. Even if for a justifiable or understandable reason, it's still kind of a shoot down. Right. So really taking the time to kind of learn that time and place.
Yeah. It's just like you would prioritize any type of conversation that needs kind of full focus and attention. I mean, these are part of those things to consider when you're engaging in these conversations. Like I am also I could be very horny, and I really enjoy the things that we do. And I love having sex with my husband, and I love doing all of these things. But again, it's that time and place. And for me, and I don't know if other people can relate to this, but like when I'm in mom mode or when I'm in parent mode, it's kind of hard to switch that off.
Right.
When they are present.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like it's just a very different. It has to be very conscientious.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that's for folks that are in our situation. And that's a lot of them. I mean, we're in our late 30s. A lot of people that are kind of dabbling in this are, and I think about our age range, and are also battling a lot of the same life, contest things that we are. I think if you want to try to engage in this at any level, you as a couple have to find that time and place to have that conversation. You have to make the space for it.
Yeah. But you also have to manage expectations.
Yeah.
Because I think, and you talked a little about this before, I think, or maybe you and I had this conversation, but like, because it takes so long to just schedule and like actually get a sitter, make it work with your schedule, with my schedule, with the other people that we're trying to schedule with. I mean, like, there's a lot of people's schedules that have to happen. Like, this is not a, hey, let's go out tomorrow night kind of thing. Like,
Right.
what are you doing 6 weeks from next Thursday? I mean, it's that crazy, you know, and then you build that up in your head, and then you get to that date and you can't go because a kid gets sick or because the schedule falls apart or whatever.
Massive blue balls.
Oh my God, massive blue balls.
The balls are so blue.
Yeah. Let me tell you
So
something,
blue.
guys. His balls are so blue, let me tell you. So blue. Yeah. But again,
the pain.
But the pain. But I think it's all part of these managing expectations, and I get it. Like, you get excited, you really want to do it, but life is life, and you can't hate your 3-year-old forever for cock
I won't hate him
you.
forever, but that little, he's on my shit list today. Okay. And here's the thing about expectations. You could say, well, this is life and this is what happens. You could say that all you want. My balls are still pretty blue. And that guy, that 3-year-old, we'll be fine tomorrow. We'll sit there, we'll eat pancakes, and we'll smile tomorrow. But today is not the day, my friend. No.
Okay. All right. Well, I will help you with your blue balls. How about that?
Thank you.
Because that's what a good wife does.
I agree.
Yeah.
So here I am sitting here with my new, I even got ready for this. Like,
I mean, yeah, as I had a little lingerie shoot or a little fashion show.
We're going for one night. She picked out 5 different, I guess you could call it outfits.
I mean, that's maybe a stretch.
That she wanted to wear. She was going to be going to the changing room every hour.
Don't act like it was my decision to do that. I was perfectly okay with one, but you were like, oh, I like this. Oh, I like this too. Oh, I like this. And then I'm like, I don't want to take a big bag. I'll carry it.
Everything that you needed to wear would have fit in a handbag for this weekend.
What does that tell you?
That I would have been a damn good weekend. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Anyway, so I did a little preparation of my own.
Yeah.
And this is in no way a sponsored thing. Like, this is not any kind of paid promotion. But if you're listening,
you can send me more of these.
Well, I'm telling you what, like,
they're really soft.
I got keyed into these from one of the guys who was going. Because, see, here's the thing.
Do they make women's underwear too?
I don't know. I'd have to look. So for women, you know, they wear lingerie, they wear little dresses or whatever.
Right.
And it's kind of easy. But
easy?
Well, it's not easy, but like, you know, you have all sorts of things you can wear. Like, you have lots of good options.
Yeah.
Right. For me, I'm kind of like, well, what am I going to wear to this thing? And I'm talking to other guys and I'm like, what do you wear? Because we actually haven't been to a club in a while. And, you know, whatever. So I was talking to some guys and they're like, well, usually what we do is dress up, you know, nice shirt, nice pants and stuff like that until about midnight. And then we start to dress down. And I think that's pretty common.
Dress down mean like taking off articles of clothing.
Well, starting to dress like less dressy.
Yeah.
And more fun, comfy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And that's where these Shinesty boxers got recommended.
Okay.
The company is, here, hold on. It's Shinesty. It's SHINESTY. And they're boxer briefs.
Yeah.
And mine
very soft.
They're super soft and they're super comfortable.
What is it called? It was like Cloud. What is it? Coming Cloud 9?
I'd have to look it up again, what the actual product name is, but the print is all these clouds of people having sex. It's spectacular in all these different positions.
Like, you wouldn't really notice that's what it is until they're kind of subtle.
Well, sort of. Yeah. Like, if you were 6 or 8 feet away, you might just think it was blue boxers with like clouds on it. And as you get closer, you realize that it's like a cloud orgy that's happening all over my butt. And
is that a cloud orgy happening all over your butt? Is that like a fantasy of yours?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So this particular variety, it's not the print, but this is called the ball hammock.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And it says underneath, says right underneath that, Welcome to Valhalla.
Wow, that's nice.
And I will say that these make my balls look amazing.
They really do. You have a nice package in those.
I do.
You do.
So I'm pretty jazzed about these, honestly. And so these are going to go in the drawer for a safe place for the next one. For the next one. So this one, we didn't get to go. If
you didn't get that, we didn't get to go.
Yeah. So I messaged the owners of the club, and they were great about it. They have a policy which you can't get a refund on tickets, but they will credit it to future events.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's what they did here. It was perfect. I've already got tickets for October. I don't care if the kids are in the hospital. I don't care. I don't care if they need a blood transfusion. I don't care. I will go to the hospital a week before this event. I will donate blood and they can keep it in a bag. I'm not coming back. No. You get one.
You get one. First of all, let's be real. Our kids have cock-blocked us many a times. So
let me tell you one of my favorite stories.
Oh my God. Don't tell the story.
We have two boys. One's 6, one's 3. And we used to love nap time.
For the oldest, this is when we had just the one.
Nap time. 2:30 was fucking time. So he would go down for his little nap and we would meander off to the bedroom and have our fun. There was one day, this I will never forget. This is the funniest shit. There was one day we are just going at it.
He must have been like 2.
I don't know, something like that. He was really little. So we're just going at it. And she came so hard. She was screaming into a pillow.
Yeah, I mean, like I wasn't like screaming out loud. Like I had muffled it some.
Well, she was screaming really loud into a pillow. And we kind of get done or whatever. And we hear this little voice from way down the hallway go, "Mommy, are you okay?"
Oh my God.
Yep, she's fine.
That's when we had to lock him in his room with the play pad. Like he wasn't. We had the baby gate. Yeah, that sounds really bad. But
that's like a fire hazard.
We had a baby gate on the doorway, so he couldn't come down.
Yeah.
I
don't understand why we still can't have a gate on this door.
Because he just jump over it at this age.
Bigger gate.
Yeah, clearly.
But yeah, so parenting. I mean, just because you have kids, and you get involved in kid stuff, and you're doing school, and you're doing all that stuff, doesn't mean you're not still in a romantic sexual relationship.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think one thing that I know, people have struggled with, and I know we have struggled with sometimes, is just finding that balance between being a parent and being parents of 2 small children and maintaining a relationship in our marriage and a relationship with our spouse, right? We still love hanging out with each other. We still want to spend all this time together. I think it's really important for us. And it has been in our marriage and relationship and family that our kids see that mom and dad still love each other. They see that mom and dad still want to spend time together, and we're going to go out on date nights and they're going to be home alone with a sitter. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to be around us, but they also recognize that a marriage and a relationship is important. Like they see that mom and dad value each other and they value their relationship. Yeah. And ultimately it's for them. Let's be real. You know what I mean? Like there's some selfish pieces to it, of course, but I think them being able to see a healthy marriage and what a healthy relationship looks like, I think ultimately is good for them as well.
Oh, I totally agree. I mean, my parents, when I was growing up, they didn't go on dates.
Yeah, mine didn't either.
And my parents really didn't have friends. They didn't really go out and do things. They didn't do a lot of that. I think one of the things I want for our kids is I want our kids to see, first of all, that they're not the most important things in the world.
Right.
They are part of a family,
right,
which is more than just them. And I want them to see firsthand what a happy, healthy marriage looks like.
Right.
In terms of how we interact with each other, how we support each other, how we take care of each other. I want them to see that because as they come along in their lives, I want them to kind of have an example of what it can look like.
Right. And, speaking of like support and those kinds of things, I think that really kind of comes to this whole we've had a lot of conversations, and I know it's been brought up in other podcasts about being outed.
Yeah.
And one of the things, and I know you and I have talked about that, but it's we obviously worry about that. I mean, I don't really want to be quote unquote outed.
Yeah. Right. Yes. You don't want to be outed. No one wants to be outed involuntarily about much of anything.
Right.
But I think, and I hope that if somebody were to out us, I would encourage them to actually listen to the show
Yeah.
and recognize that, I mean, you may not agree necessarily with what we do,
Right.
but at least I think you could recognize that we're happy, healthy people in a happy relationship.
Right. But there's also this concept, at least our experience has been with other couples, and when we have these conversations and we've kind of listened to other podcasts and just these kinds of events, it's really about supporting each other. It's really about providing kind of just a fun, safe place to explore these things. It's not this deviant cheat on your spouse kind of mentality at all.
No.
It's really, and again, it goes back to, we've said this before. I know I have, this is not a substitution for anything in our relationship. Like, this is something that we do for fun, that's really just, that adds to our relationship, not in lieu of something else.
No, and it's not making up for anything. It's not replacing anything. Yeah, no, and it's not coercive. It's not where one of us really, says this is what we're doing or we're not together.
Right.
It's just kind of something we grew to together. And we're still growing in it together.
Yeah. And all the couples that we've talked to, like, you can tell they sincerely love their partner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think we've had any interactions, at least we haven't, I'm sure they exist, but we have not had any interactions with couples or individuals that just seem very shady, or that you can tell like they're not really sincere.
Right.
Or they're in this for a reason that's not like on, like their partner is not on the same page with.
No, the vast majority of couples that we have met are well-established
Yeah.
couples, at least.
Absolutely.
Even if they're new to the lifestyle, they're relatively well-established couples.
Yeah.
And they don't have any aspirations to take advantage of anybody or anything like that. It's been a very welcoming and very open group. And one of the phrases that we heard from Roxy on Vanilla to Vixen was this concept of we straighten each other's crowns. And what is meant by that is that we in the community, in this lifestyle, should be supporting each other positively.
Right.
And that means things like body positivity. It means no judgment.
Right.
It doesn't necessarily mean you have to jump into bed with all these people, but that you are positive. We have found this to not be at all a mean community.
No, not at all. And even within the community, it is interesting, when you think about, even within the community, when you kind of think about the idea of them, non-monogamous relationships, or people that are engaging in sex with another person outside of their marriage. Obviously you have some people that are really into the dominant sub thing, or really into like demeaning, not demeaning, maybe that's the right word. Maybe that is the right word.
Well, some people are into that.
Yeah. I mean, kind of that,
fetish.
Derogatory thing, derogatory towards other people. But I think we're all in the same boat in that, like, we're all in the lifestyle, we're all in this, but even though that's not my thing, that's not really what we like. We're not judging them or shunning them. We're just like, hey, that's just not our thing. And there's not this, ew, like, why don't you like what I like? Or I don't like what you like. It's really like, oh, okay, cool. And they just move on, and we just move on. And it's not, I feel like if the rest of the world can figure out how to do this in a lot of other contexts, we'd be better off.
You're right about that. I mean,
just this idea of, I don't have to like what you like, but we could still hang out and have fun and show each other our tits and just call it a day.
Yeah. A really common question in the lifestyle is, what's your dynamic?
Mm-hmm.
Right? People want to know as they meet people, how do you guys do it? What are you into? We have a dynamic amongst ourselves that's pretty common.
Yeah.
What we're into, a lot of people are into. One of the things that, and I think this can be its whole episode. I really think we should do a whole episode on this, but You are straight.
Yes.
And we have found that in the lifestyle, there is, I'm not going to say an expectation, but kind
Expectation
of
might
an
be a strong word.
expectation a little
Yeah.
bit that women are bi.
Right.
And I was just having a conversation yesterday with one of the guys who is going to this hotel takeover
Hmm.
about consent.
Oh,
And again, I really think this could be its own episode, but within the lifestyle, bisexuality of women is so common
right.
that
It's
it's
assumed
not,
almost.
it's almost assumed. It's not so much that it's necessarily expected, but that it's so common
Hmm.
that it's almost like just understood that most women are okay with some level of bi
Right. So
activity.
you're talking about in a full couple swap.
No, I'm talking about all over the place.
Oh.
There was apparently a letter sent out by uh, one of the club owners
Mm.
a couple of years ago about consent related to this, because there were so many instances of females just engaging with other females without asking, without talking about it first or anything else. And you even kind of experienced this
Hmm.
in the club that we went to,
Years ago. Yeah. Sure.
where a woman kind of just sort of involved herself.
Yeah.
And so there's kind of that consent element there.
And that's such a, it's like I am straight. Like I am not attracted to females in that way. However, I mean, I feel like I'm going to talk out of both sides of my mouth here a little bit. Like I appreciate the female form. If I rub up on you or you rub up on me, like that's not going to bother me at all.
No, but it does need to be negotiated ahead of time.
Absolutely.
There
Like I
does
don't
need
really
to
want to
be
make
the-
out with you. I don't really want to engage in anything else there. But like
Right.
if we touch each other or rub each other or those kinds of things, like I don't have a problem with that. But right, it's
There still needs to be that
still
consent.
needs to
There
have that
still needs to be that
conversation,
"Can I
yeah.
touch you?"
yeah,
question asked, at
absolutely,
least.
yeah.
So the lifestyle isn't perfect.
But again,
But it
the
is-
theme is it's all about communication.
Right.
It's about open, honest, clear communication.
But I will say this, it's kind of a self-policed community a little bit. And it is, I think, a community that isn't perfect, but is kind of striving to be.
I mean, I think there's much more opportunity for people to actually learn, fuck up, but also be redirected and just educated and then move on. Like,
Right.
there's not this like, unless you do something egregious. Like,
Well, and that's the
different,
other thing
but-
too. In the club environments and stuff, there's a pretty low tolerance for folks that are going to misbehave. Those folks
Absolutely.
are removed pretty quickly.
Pretty quickly, yeah.
And that does a lot to straighten things out.
Right. So the expectation is just of communication, of respect.
Yep.
Like whatever you're into is whatever you're into, but it's having the conversation and respecting whatever they say.
Right. So I think, when you get to dynamics and stuff and what different people are into, where it can really help, and that would have helped us in this case, because this club, the hotel takeover rather, they were expecting like 1,500 people.
Yeah.
From I think 20 some states.
Right. And
Several countries.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Jamaica. I think I saw Australia on the list. I mean,
Australia's like way the fuck.
I mean, somebody was visiting an uncle. Okay. That's what was going on there. But
Someone was visiting an uncle.
but whatever. We were a little concerned, or at least I was, that we were going to go to this thing and it was going to be so big, so massive, that it was going to be almost hard to meet people.
Yeah.
Because it's like a shopping mall full of people practically,
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
And the club, Champagne, and I think a lot of them do this, offer on their members area on their website a kind of a chat area, a members area. And through that, meeting some people on there, I connected to a Telegraph chat that I think there was around 200 people in for this party. And it was all the people who were going, and they're talking about what they're going to wear, and they're, sharing some pictures and getting to know each other and stuff. And through that, I got to know several people that were going, couples and a few single guys. And having somebody there, having somebody when you get there, is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, I'm a pretty extroverted person, but that would be a really hard. I mean, inevitably, there's always going to be some awkwardness, especially initially. So yeah, I think to have just some people that straight guy 403, like, you know, or whatever his name is, or Big Jugs 10, you know, like whatever it is.
Quit giving out everyone's usernames.
Oh, right. Awkward. Sorry. But yeah, I mean, I think it's, is that not
Big Jugs might not approve of this.
Oh, is it Big Jugs 10 or 12? I
don't know. They're both on there.
Oh, okay.
So we also did not have a room at this thing. So this is a full hotel takeover.
Yeah. It was all sold out, which is crazy.
And the one for October is already sold out too. I wasn't able to get a room there either. We were at an overflow hotel, like nearby.
Overflow hotel.
Yeah, it's for like the losers that didn't get here in time.
On board. Yeah,
you know, it's the degenerates. And so we're over here at this other hotel, but having a room at the main hotel would have been nice because that would have been kind of like a home base.
Right.
You could like kind of have your door open, which I'm sure everybody does. I've seen some pictures from past hotel takeovers. And
I didn't think they were allowed to have cell phones or pictures.
Well, I mean, in that environment, you're talking about it's a hotel.
Yeah.
They've got everything in their room, you know, they've got their luggage and all their stuff. So I've seen some pictures from past events. People go nuts on the hotel rooms.
Oh, yeah.
They decorate them and really decorate them up. And there's people put whiteboards on the outside of their doors, you know, for little messages and things.
Like a college dorm room.
Yes, 100%. Like a
BRB
college dorm room.
Getting my ass eaten in room 305.
What room was that? So the oh my God. And it's like you do that. Think about that message. I am now. Like you knew that in advance. Like I'm gonna go to room 305 to get my ass eaten. Give me a Sharpie. I need to put that on here in case this guy comes around and he's looking for me, he'll know to go look for me in 303 where I'm getting my ass eaten.
305.
305. Oh, 303. That could have been awkward. What's going on in there? Poor guy. So anyway, communication is important.
Communication is important.
Accuracy.
303 is the non-ass eating.
You don't want to go in there. I'm telling you what's going on in there. You don't want to go in there. But yeah, I was excited to see that. I think having a room there would have been helpful. Just in that you could kind of camp out, open your door and kind of have people kind of come to you a little bit.
Well, right. But you also, when you're done, you're kind of done to some degree, I guess.
Yeah. You don't have to worry about getting to your hotel, which I was kind of concerned about because we were going to have to go home early the next day.
Well, right. And then if you have something to drink. And
then you got to sort that out. So we'll have to figure it out in October. We'll see how that goes because we're going to be at the same hotel.
Oh, is it? It's at the same location.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes. I was really excited to see you walk around that hotel.
Yeah.
In your lingerie.
Yeah.
I was very excited for that.
Well, I guess I was excited to see you in your little cloud undies.
You still can.
That's true.
I can go put them on right now.
His package looks so good.
It's
so nice.
And I only had 2 socks in there. And they weren't the normal tube socks. We're talking little shorties.
Ooh, so hot.
No, they're comfy too. So yeah, we were asked to do an episode by one of the gentlemen on the Discord about parenting and real life up against trying to do this lifestyle.
Yeah.
And we thought, well, that's a great idea. And we kind of had it sort of on our back burner of ideas. And then this happened.
Right.
The great blue balls of 2023.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And thought, boy, you know what? It's time.
Well, it's fresh, right? So
it's fresh.
It's pretty real
this wound
right now.
Is very, very fresh. What's going to make it worse? We are hoping to interview some people that actually did go.
Yeah.
I'm trying to twist some arms to get some folks to come on and tell us what it was like.
Right. Which I think is a big mistake because he's going to be even more upset. And then he's going to shun our kid for another day.
Just for another day. He'll be fine. It's just a day. He'll be like, why is Dad in such a bad mood? And be like, don't ask him. It's fine. Just don't ask him. You're fine.
Move on.
But yeah, no, I'm excited for that. And hopefully in October, we'll have our own stories to tell.
That's right. We will.
But for now.
Because come hell or high water, we're going.
Hell or high water. I'm going to donate blood and put it at the hospital and put their names on it.
Okay.
I will. If they need anything, they'll figure it out.
Right. I understand. Is this also Thursday, Friday, Saturday as well? Or is this just Friday, Saturday?
I don't know about Thursday. I know it's Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
I know it's Friday and Saturday. I also reached out to the owner of the Champagne Club
Yeah.
about possibly having a chat with her sometime. So we'll see what happens there. I think she could be a very interesting person to talk
She responded?
to. Yeah, and she's hosting. Of course, she's hosting the event, and she's
so
going to be
she's
there
busy.
near the front doors. And so
Yeah.
we'll get a chance to talk to her. But she's owned now 2 clubs and done all these hotel takeovers. There's got to be some stories there.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Also coming up soon, we're hoping on our next episode will be the official cloning of my Willie, which I'm so excited for.
He's not excited about the cloning part as much as the fluffer part.
Oh, I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah. There's also a clone of pussy,
Yes.
which I don't know why I thought this, maybe, but I thought it was a little bit more internal, but it's not. It's more of a mold of my labes.
Right. It's the outside.
Okay. Yeah. So it's my sweet labes.
Yeah. It's the outside. And it's, although you do put like a little ping pong ball in your pussy and then you put the mold on there because you pull that little ball out and that's where it connects to the masturbator sleeve.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
We're going to do this one too. So we'll hear all more about it. So
Yeah.
that's going to be on there. We're definitely going to have pictures and stuff on the Discord. Join us on Discord.
Yeah.
The link's in the show notes. I know we had a link in there for the first time. The link didn't work at all.
It was like, just kidding.
It didn't work at all. I think it's fixed now though. And I think the one in the last episode and I'm hopefully for the one in this episode will work fine. If for whatever reason it doesn't, just email us and we'll get you sorted out.
Yeah.
So join us on Discord. You'll see lots of fun pictures,
Yeah.
including my cloned Willie. And maybe even some pictures of Mrs. Snow using it.
Oh, there's a thought.
There's a thought. So check out that Not Safe for Work channel. That's always fun.
Well, as always, Mr. Snow, I enjoy our conversations.
I do too.
I love you.
Want to go try on these new underwear?
Ooh, do you want me to go walk around in some of this lingerie?
Yes.
Bye.
Gotta
We
go.
want to hear from you. Email us at snowmilf@yahoo.com. That's SNOMILF@yahoo.com. You can also join us on our Discord and have some fun interactive conversations with us. The link is in the show notes. Talk to you soon. Come back and listen to us again, bitches.
Grab your dicks.